Ismail Olawale. I want to welcome you once again. You are highly welcome. I believe you are not new to all of us here. We welcome you to 6th media Parley online official session. We welcome you and we want to congratulate you once more. We believe the present administration, the people who the state.
Oh, we want to tag, okay. Yeah.
The people of the state have been enjoying the present administration from the infrastructure development, education, health, and many others. Our member are here to ask one or two questions about the administration and especially to eat more on the second anniversary of Governor Ademola Adeleke. I want to welcome SOJ to class.
Let me have one. I will turn it to him so that I think I should have an opening statement. I should have an opening remarks. After my opening remarks, then now one. I want to thank members of this association. Before taking this job, I also run an online medium in Abuja, and I'm still running it. I have one people know Sahel. Sahel used to be print before we migrate to online. Then I have a railway magazine. As of 2017, we have only one railway magazine across Africa. It was owned by a white woman in South Africa. So we started railway business magazine. It happened to be an online magazine, and it's still running. Then I have another online on climate change. We call it Climate Alien. So this is my family, and I want to thank you for hosting me. Now on the subject of second year anniversary, I want to thank you for your presence yesterday and for your supportive presence, because it's wanting to be present, it's wanting to be antagonistically present, but you are very supportive, and we thank you because you are supporting reality on ground of our little effort to change the face of our dear state. Let me just recap it. What has happened in the last 2 years is quite extraordinary in the life of Osun State. Not because people have not built roads or reconstruct hospitals, but because we've done what many could not even achieve under 4 years, within 2 years, and you can testify to it, and without taking one single copper as loan, except all those developmental things which is outside our control. Governor Ademola Adeleke has actually delivered on 5-point agenda within 2 years before we clock the usual year of okay, let's review you after your first tenure. But we could not have achieved it without your support. We started on a rocky stance, but today we have stabilized, and like Honorable Balaji said yesterday, our success is highly attributable to the media, the level of high support we have from the media. So we thank you sincerely, and we are soliciting for more support going forward into the second part of our tenure. So I want to thank you sincerely. Thanks for having me. So I'm ready to take all questions, and I want to plead with you that if there are questions that will best be addressed along the line in the program, that's each day, I will skip it, but not out of disrespect for this house. It's just to ensure that at the right time you have official statement on them. You know, we're having 16-day programs. So I'm ready.
Thank you so much. I would like SOJs to ask the question.
Sorry, can you take me a picture of this as I'm holding it? Please. Okay, like this. Thank you. Thank you.
I Adesochi Omoshemi, publisher of SOJ Worldwide Online News. I want to appreciate you for coming, for being the first guest of this secretariat. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the government. Something I used to, I tried to call you, but we didn't pick your call and chatted to you. So I need to tell you now, appreciate you. There's something that I appreciate in the government. Responsiveness. I remember there was a story that Jabu, our former chairman, lighting.
Okay.
It wasn't quite long after that occupation, and we started seeing work. We can now testify that maybe from Akoda down to Sugar to
machine, going to machine to
exactly. Yes, light. Secondly, there was one video that got viral on the teacher. So it went viral. Or it was so curious that the governor was there the second day. So I really want to congratulate you. My question, I just want to know, I have just only 2 questions. It has to do with teachers recruitment. I remember that we've been on this since February. And then at the time there was interview, there was a short list interview and another person. Before you start your recruitment, we are going criticism against the past government concerning those that were recruited. So my point is that at that time when Olawale was about to recruit, it happened the same way with Ondo State. Olawale was so slow, but I preach. But I understand that you went to all the rudiments. But immediately, it doesn't take more than 3 months. Now, within 3 months now, they have done their recruitment, their interview and everything. They have recruited. Another list will come now and launch for test form. What has it taken so long for to recruit? That's for these people to get to them, because parents are really graduate for major subjects are no longer, the teachers are no longer. The teachers are no longer. We have so many gaps. Now, why has it taken long? Because it's like when 2 of us guys are suffer. The students will suffer, especially when this price is coming up. What are you doing?
Yeah. That's number one.
In addition to that, on recruitment, what about the areas or promises that Oke-Fia promise to youth via then years, now 8 years?
Yeah, the second one.
Okay, the second one has to do with this barricade.
Olaiya
barricade. Also State came out, this government came out January. That not to the public, but not to the residents. That's okay. There is an issue concerning the bridge. My question is that since that January till now, nothing has been done. What people will be thinking is that
you mean on the bridge,
yes, on the bridge. And we see this recently where the barricade was like there was nothing bad repeating the barricade. After all, did simple. From inception there was a barricade. So the point is that is it not that is the one that you are constructing? That maybe it is not strong enough, so you want to use this one as an excuse to do the barricade on this.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first take you to the question touched on teachers recruitment, the Imole call. Let me first take on that. You know, if you want to be a populist government will not do what we call proper planning before rushing to making announcement of policies. Now, what Governor Ademola Adeleke did was to look at what is our financial strength. If we are to recruit, can we sustain the payment? Can we we sustain the payment of salaries and all those? How much are we earning? Now, minimum wage is coming. Hey, what will it be? What will it look like? Then if we are to just go ahead and make announcement, will it affect the gradual payment of pension debt that we have on ground? Will it affect ongoing payment of half salary? So you have all these considerations going on when the issue of teachers recruitment, the Mallam youth corps, you know, the issue of minimum wage started around June, July, and the announcements were made. Now, everybody within government under the leadership of Mr. Aguna said, guys, let's tarry a while, let's assess what exactly will the minimum wage be, what will be the implication of the cost of the state. Let me give you the scenario. If the personnel cost, the total personnel cost of Osun, let's assume is 6.5 billion. If it's 6.5 billion before minimum wage, when there is minimum wage, how much will it add? Will it become 7.5 or 8.5? Now, if you had teachers recruitment, let's say you are recruiting 1,000, what will be their pay? What will it add to the total personnel cost? If you had the Mallam youth corps, the total, what will it add to the total personnel cost? So government has to consider all these variables before now jumping, because let me tell you, if you recruit teachers, you put up Imole youth corps and all those, and you pay for first month, you pay second month, and third month we have problem about payment of salary. That's why government has said, no, let's first take our time, conclude the issue of minimum wage. By that time, we will not be able to say, okay, minimum wage, if we had ₦1 billion to the total pay personnel for the state. So we are not saying, okay, we are looking at 7.5 billion. If we recruit 1,000 teachers, we had it. We now compare it with our allocation, our idea, the need for project execution. So I'm laying that foundation to let you know why we have that delay. Now minimum wage is resolved. We're having 75,000. As at yesterday, there was a meeting of the negotiation team, that's Labour government, to determine will that minimum wage start yesterday, today, or tomorrow. Because it's not government that is deciding, there is a negotiation team. Now that is resolved, the issue of minimum wage. So government has now decided, by this anniversary, Mr. Governor will make an announcement on the Mallam youth corps. It's coming on stream. By this anniversary, Mr. Governor will make an announcement on teachers recruitment. It's coming on stream. Because now we are sure of where we are. We now know our capacity. We now know what we can carry. And luckily for us, the minimum wage is 75,000. So the delay was due to the need for proper planning, the need for physical consideration before you go and rush into commitment. So now you compare Osun with Oyo and other. You know what I used to tell our people? Anytime we are reviewing state, we have to look at peculiarities of each state. When we came on board, we met almost 55 billion pension debt. We met almost 30-something billion naira half salary not paid. We are clearing them gradually in batches. Now we are paying salary as at when due. We are constructing bridges, health centers, and all. So you have to juggle. Also, it's a peculiar state. Beyond pension and half salary debt, you also know we have state debt, very high, that we met on ground. And like I told you, this administration has not taking a loan. The loan people are referring to our developmental loan, which is not within our control. World Bank and all those counterpart funds. But as for a government sitting down at test committee and saying we want to take a loan, Governor Ademola Adeleke has not done it. So you get the background. So we were late in announcing teachers recruitment, the Mallam youth corps, because of those considerations, financial considerations. But we are there now, we are ready. Now on Olaiya barricade. You see, people play too much politics in Osun. Around 2 or 3 months ago, there was diversion, blockage of Osun Ibadan. expressway because of construction. So trailers now move piling up. I mean, before that time, we've had report. People have written some report and say this bridge you have to watch it. Now, Adeleke said no. Our Ministry of Work said we should not worry. We should go ahead. No problem with that bridge. So everybody keep short until we now have excessive presence and passage of trailers from Oyo and everywhere. So we had the security meeting that day. The police commissioner then, you will not use the word when you are writing your report. I'm just giving you. So that's why I said people play a lot of politics. Now I was there. SSD and only few people with the security chiefs. The police commissioner said we have to do something about influx of trailers. It was shown that is a security crisis, it's an infrastructural crisis. Then the FRSC man now say he's even worried about Olaiya bridge, that the level of trailers that so that something untoward will not happen. After much debate, everyone now say okay, you can put barricade so that trailer will be taking down while normal cars, and we issue a statement. Yeah, we issue a statement to say to Osun people, because of this consideration, that consideration, we are doing what? Putting a barricade. And in that statement, nothing was mentioned about how can you go and demolish? It's our body that was used to demolish, to construct it. Nobody talk about demolition. We said we will put barricade so that, but also we are checking the technically the bridge so that we'll be sure if there's anything to do amendment, we can do it. The statement was harmless. Now we have put it there now. The barricade is there. We have a speed breaker too. The trailers are going down, not up again. We have secured the place. We also deploy more armed personnel to make sure that no vandals will come and vandalize it and will now blame it on government. So it's not political. Now let's now go to our home. Those bridges were constructed. The consultant that is handling our bridges, in fact, happened to be one of the people that handle several Atlanta bridges, several bridges in America, in UK, is from Osun. The company that is handling it, you all know the story, is a local company. The engineers that are working on it, they are local engineers, they are working. Go and check it. We have one of the best technical standards on those bridges we are doing. We invited NSC to come and check. They were here for 4 days. They issued their verdict. It's one of the best. If you go to that place in the next 1 month, I will be happy for Osun State that local engineers can actually put up a world class flyover without Julius Baga being involved, without all those Dan Tata and Sawo being involved. So there is nothing political. Our infra projects are world class. The fact that local companies are handling it does not mean they cannot deliver world standard project. And you know what Governor Adeleke is doing? Our local content policy is a disruptor. Okay, when you are coming to the system, people have an idea of how governance should run. You know what Trump is doing now? Trump hates the judicial system, the structure, the state. He now puts people that hate the system, put them as ministers. What do you want to go and do? Go and enforce reform. So when we came on board, this idea of if you don't pick big companies from outside, then you cannot do construction work. Governor Adeleke said no. If we develop our local talents, our local companies, they can now go out and be taking job. Now, the what we call the one that did Osogbo, Ikiru, Samuel is also the one doing handling Ife flyover. See what we are doing at Oke-Fia, world class. In fact, you can't come there and say this is Osun. So it's not political. We are not saying anything about Olaiya other than we want to secure it. It's a state asset. But if anybody now read policies to it, that they want to demolish the only, because they use the word the only, okay, they are not the one that use the word. People use the word the only legacy they left behind, that Adeleke want to demolish it. The reality is that no, nothing like demolition, but we want to secure it. We want to also show that there's difference between failure and good performance. It's not about whether I like Governor Adeleke or not. It's about checking the record. It's about performance. It's about failure. Put them side by side. People will judge. So my brother, there is nothing political. We are running the best of standard in our infra project, and of course teachers and Imole Youth Corps is we know the delay now, what caused it, financial consideration. And let me tell you, if you are a manager of any place, what you need to do first is proper financial plan, so that in January government will not say we can't pay salary and people will say why. I think
Thank you very much. On that, I have a question on that, sir.
Yeah.
You made mention of financial challenges as a major factor that is facing Adeleke's administration. And by calculation, what is in the news is that Governor Adeleke has received in 2 years what the past administration received in 4 years. How will you judge this and keep saying financial challenges is facing this administration?
You see, you know what I challenge our journalists to always do. Just go and do a table of federal allocations under Oyetola. You know, that means you do like 2018, 2019, you now say 2022, just go and, it's online. It's online. Just go and do it. You now do, if you do like 2021 and you now do 2023 or 2020, you now you'll be able to see what is the percentage of increment in the federal allocation threshold. You get what I mean now? Okay, let me ask you. You people are here before me. I was in Abuja when the Oyetola was. What is the federal allocation? It ranges between 5.5, almost on monthly basis, billion. Now the question is, if it's 5, ranging between 5.5 or thereabout. Now we did it under Governor Adeleke 2023 and 2024. The question is, what is the range? It's mostly between 7.5 to 8 billion. If we are to put it in percentage form, is it 100%? In fact, it's less than 50% increment. So when people come and say, oh, Adeleke has received, so what I ask people is that, no, this is simple. Just go online. Just check what they receive and what we are receiving. Now, if it's less than 50% increment, because it's less than 50%, the question is, what are we now doing with our resources? We have issued out what we call the multi-billion naira multi-sectoral infra project. You yourself know it. We are doing dualization in key states, key towns and villages. We are doing flyover in Oshobo. We are doing, you yourself, we put out the cost of most of this project. I think we have it, we shared it yesterday. We put it online per project, the duration, and all you share it with and again, that is one. If the allocation increment is less than 50%, now Mr. SOJ, let me ask you, as a businessman, the value of money you are holding today compared with the value of that same money yesterday, is it the same? If you want to buy cement in 2021 and you want to buy cement now, look at the difference. If you want to buy iron rod in 2021 and you want to buy iron rod now, look at the difference. The implication is that if you are having 8 billion now, it's almost like 5 billion that somebody was handing in the past. But despite that, Governor Adeleke has been able to pull through most of these infra projects that we are seeing. We've constructed over 120 kilometers of road under 2 years, 1.5 kilometer per local government. Then that's the first round. We are doing the second round of 1.5. Many of the local government have more than 1.5. Many of the local government have like we have almost, because it's the local government headquarters, we have almost 6 kilometers for one local government. When you had it all ongoing, completed, we have close to 300 kilometers of road that are all in Osun. Then health centers, when we came on board, we have almost 400 health centers. They call them health centers. They have no water, they have no power supply. Sorry, can I quickly answer your question? Sorry. I'm just setting level. No, it's not clear. Mo ṣe tàbí lọ́wọ́ sí. Máa gbọ́ lọ́ba mi sọ fún ìdísí. Ó tún bẹ̀ mo ṣe tàbí lọ́wọ́ níbi ìṣòro. Mi ò ní wá máa pàdé ní grand ni. So like I was saying, the inflationary rate from Oyetola period to Adeleke period is almost 100%. We all know it. Flight from Abuja to Lagos is now almost 140, 150. From Mallam from 40, 45. So when you want to judge the Adeleke administration, what we have to look at is during Oyetola's period, they are handing that type amount. What we are handing now in terms of value is almost just equal to what they are handing. But what we have done with what we are handing is humongous. It's massive. This is extraordinary. In fact, the governor told me something last time. He said he himself is surprised with the level of achievement that we have recorded. He said every time he's checking, he's asking, are we the one that did all this? So, where is the chairman? So like you said, like I was saying, we've not had 100% increment in allocation. We've not had 50% increment in allocation. The value of what we are handling is even so low. We all know it. But you should ask me, what is the magic? How are we able to beat the supply constraint in view of inflationary trend, both for cement, iron ore, and all those? In fact, people should ask. You know, I hope you know the secret. Forward thinking, forward planning. When the inflationary crisis started on a very high note, it was a decision of the government that let's go and massively acquire input. That's materials we need that will cover our project so that inflation will not stop us. That's why anytime people say Governor Adeleke is a dancing man, he's not thinking, I just look at them, they don't know this man. You just need to get close to him. If somebody can have a foresight that cement is 7,000 now, let me quickly go and buy before it become 8,000, 9,000. That's what Governor Adeleke did. God Dangote to give us a forward purchase. That reduce our costs. We did the same for other. So that governor you are seeing there, your governor is deep. It's beyond dancing that people think they know about him. That dancing is a cover. Look, in my own cause, it's like a cover. Let people think I'm not serious, but you have shown them that it's super serious. Thank you very much. Yeah.
My name is Amit David. I write for Business Nigeria. Let me congratulate Mr. Governor as somebody who is also from Benin. Our government is and why I said this, when Mr. Governor, while he was during the debates, I would like to start with people were like, let's see how Governor Adeleke will perform. But surprisingly to everybody, Mr. Governor did well. That was prior to the election. And after the election, Mr. Governor won. And thank God, because we from there, we believe the first mandate was stolen. But luckily for us, they tried to, use the abracadabra, but thank God, we secured that mandate. Now, before Mr. Governor started his administration, I as a person, despite I'm from Ede, I was skeptical. Is Mr. Governor going to perform? You know, Mr. Governor is good in dancing, and people believe somebody who is a dancer cannot even think well. But today, we are happy. Even some of my colleagues can attest to it that Mr. Governor is outspoken than our previous governor. Now my question. I know the upcoming Imole. Yeah. Mr. Governor will dance very well. This is the time to dance.
Yeah.
But my question is, I would like to ask, you are very close to Mr. Governor. Can you tell us how Mr. Governor feels when opposition party criticizes his administration or some of his policies? Tell us how Mr. Governor feels.
Thank you very much.
Then my second question we ask to is security.
Security.
Yes, security of the states. You know, what we had, should I say 2 or 3 days, is something that is very unfortunate. And this kind of thing should not happen to any of these states' citizens. What is the government doing as far as securing the life and property of the states? That is my question. Okay. The last one, it is not a question.
Okay.
This will come in as a form of advice speaking on behalf of the association.
Oh, okay.
We believe the states is not that financially handicapped. We have to be sincere. You know, pensioners are getting their arrears, and other infrastructure are also going on in the states. The association here, we do receive our BTA money. Unfortunately, the BTA has not been coming as expected. Please, sir, Mr. Spokesperson, sir, kindly help us so that the BTA will be coming every Monday as expected. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. I have a few questions. Which one question? But before I go to the question, I want to say 2 things. My name is Francis Lazy Jr. I want to say 2 things. On the day of election, that is July 20, we went out for normal election coverage.
Okay.
But something happened that I've never experienced. What was this election? We felt it. When several radio stations called me, I said we felt the victory even before it was finally announced. That was the first time I did reach an INEC. I've never gone to INEC before. But because we felt something was in the office, I told my parents today I must sleep in the night. When the results came out, it was this is what we feel. Just finding to confirm it. Then secondly, I want you to probably pass the message along to everybody that cares to this team of me. You see criticism, especially from the 4th estate of the realm. It is not usually in the background, you know. Like on Friday, so Wednesday we are at an AUJ meeting, and the chairman said something, saying, you know, journalists will have that. So that's the only thing we have that go with them. You can knock on any door, and those will open. You see the thing, sir, when it comes, it's not because we need problems. It's because we feel the pulse of the society. And anybody that comes up, journalists, they don't answer from governor. This thing we are feeling it now. That is by the way. My question is, in terms of electricity,
okay,
we know it has been decentralized.
Yeah.
States can now produce their own electricity.
Yeah.
Now, unlike before in Osun State that we used to boost come to Osun 24-hour electricity, that is not the situation here, except in some areas where we should go. Now that it has been decentralized, what is the government doing to domesticate that
decentralization? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me start with the issue of criticism. You see, this is my territory. I'm a journalist. I've veered into other things like business, but basically, this is where God bless us before we go to any other place. You see, we are very open to criticism. But what we were worried about in the first 1 year of the administration was that we saw that the criticism was laced with political undertone. The people that were booted out of office, and they were still fighting back. And a journalist confessed to me that when this Oke-Fia was here, to be fair, we say Oke-Fia is good to them. Now, and I saw the traces of some reporting. It's difficult to just abandon. And the court case after the election took time. Most people thought Ajagba and Imole, but Imole failed. Or the Ajagba. The court case went on till June, I think May, June. So during that period, some of our friends, they actually showed the reality that they are not with us, and we can feel it. So it got to a point that I sent stories directly to editors, bypass everybody here, because most of them are my colleagues and friends. I say, your people here will not write to, this is our story. So, but eventually after 1 year, the situation changes. People now see, Governor Adeleke is also good intentioned. So it's not as if we hate criticism. The last time that we had an issue, what's the name of that Guardian guy? The Guardian Timothy. I counted more than 5 stories. The guy would pick a very negative story about us and he will not call us. The issue is that you can publish negative story. What is bad in it? But seek our side. So he did it 1, 2, 3. So I now question and say, you guys come. What is the matter? This is not journalism. If I report this guy to his editors in Lagos, he will be in trouble, because take the story from wherever you want to, but call us and say, what is your side? So that tend to appear as if we are attacking. We are not attacking. We just want fair hearing. But in the last 1 year, we've been very cordial with the Mafudu Company. He used to be on the other side, but he's a major advisor for us now. Will call us and say, what you guys are doing is wrong. This is how to do it. So, because you people now say that we have good intention, I want to go back to Abuja after Mr. Governor's 8 years and do like this to my friend. Because many of them said, you people, you have to go and work for that dancing man. But the dancing man has turned out to be a transformer, a major builder, a rebuilder of Osun, as we can all testify. So, I want to assure you that we are open to criticism. We need your attack as long as we know it's not political. But if we sense criticism that's political, because we are also in the street, we have to respond streetwise. But if we know this is genuine, why not? We'll quickly succumb. Now, on the issue of how opposition feel about how Mr. Governor feels, he had what we call thick skin, because he's a politician, and of course once you are a politician you should know your opposition people must attack you. And in any case, what do you want the opposition to do again? You've taken power from them, you've outperformed them, you've shown that governance is not difficult. It's just a matter of listening to the people, looking for what people want, and you as a governor doing it, which is what Governor Adeleke has been doing. So if you have outperformed them, You have simplified governance. You demystify governance. You become champion of good governance. Wait, tabak that switch lọ́wọ́ ọgbọ́n. Ẹ wá tún ní kó sunkún. Yóò sunkún náà. Ẹ wá tún ní ẹ padlock ẹnu ẹ̀ kò possible. So the opposition, they have to do their job. They have to shout at every video. But we did the same. The only difference between us and them is that our action then, when we were fact-based, because we dig into what they are doing and confront them. In their own case, see what they did about Olaiya bridge. Now, we've put a speed breaker, the place is safe, nobody has demolished the bridge as they allege, because it was fake news. So in our own case, Governor Adeleke feel opposition are free to talk, but we are talking to the people. What are the people feeling? As long as the people are with us, Mr. Governor is not bothered because they hold the mandate. Then on the issue of Olawale, a lot has been said. The Inspector General of Police has acted, the Commissioner of Police has acted, and they are handling the matter. I can tell us that Olawale is getting better now. He's off life support. He was on life support until yesterday morning. So he's out now. The surgery, around 4 or 5 surgeries were conducted and very successful. So he's yet to be discharged, but he's getting by his off life support. Then security has been beefed up around the area to ensure that nothing untoward happened to him. The IG has acted so well. The guy is under interrogation in Abuja. That's the matter. I don't want to go into that. But luckily for us, our man is off death trap. The life support has been pulled up and the guy is stabilizing. Hopefully during the week, maybe released for home treatment. So on the association, but I will first dispute your premise of request for the association. Later. Okay. So now on the electricity bill, I was once a special assistant to the Minister of Power in Abuja. In fact, it was during that tenure that Nigerian electricity power sector reform, the bill was enacted. In fact, we started the licensing of the discos and GEMCOs. So this is an area that personally I love, and Mr. Governor is also into it. So we have a bill that actually covers setting up the state power system. Part of the power system is to set up a regulatory commission. The job of the commission will be to license those who want to generate electricity. We call it mini grid, off-grid system. To also listen to complaint of I've paid NEPA, AEDC, we don't have power supply. So the bill is going to the State Assembly latest by next month for passage. And of course, you also know that my governor is representing Southwest at the national level on matter of power sector. So work is ongoing, you can be sure. Also, we also have the two local electricity system. I think I've covered it.
Thank you so much. Now before we wrap it up, we allow 2 to 3 questions before we wrap up. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your presence here. Out of the business schedule.
Thank you.
I want to comment your administration in terms of problems. People are feeling it, they will that continue. I have 2 questions. You may not be aware of this. There is high cost of transportation in Osun State. And I recollect that the governor promised this Imole bus. So what is the government doing to agitate this software? Because from where to look is 600 naira. You are awesome. And even more. So what can the government do to agitate that? Maybe we can not do that buses. Like it's done.
some of the major products that we have. That is one question. Another one is on agriculture. I'm so much interested in this agriculture because with empty stomach, nobody can do anything. And the government have bought tractors for the farmers. It seems as if the impact is not felt in the market. So we want to look into that area of agriculture so that when they utilize these tractors, with the farmers, food will come to the market and at a cheaper rate, I will be able to meet the quality. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Firstly, I'd like to appreciate the government. For the past 3 years, I can see that the government has done well. Now, I have two questions. The first question is, the question is directly to the Commissioner of Environment.
Commissioner of Environment, okay.
And that's it, sir. On December 10, 2023, it was announced that Osun will introduce monthly sanitation.
Monthly sanitation.
But up to now, we are yet to, maybe it has commenced and we don't know. So I want you to react on that. And secondly, these 2 years of this administration, should we be expecting cabinet reshuffle? Maybe after the review, I guess there's going to be a review for the cabinet, all appointees. Should we be expecting cabinet reshuffle?
Thank you, sir. I'm Jamin.
Okay, Jamin Babatude.
Yes, alright. Now, as people have been saying, we commend what Mr. Governor have done in the past 2 years. I'm not sure that my question will go this way. There is outcry in the town, in Osun, about AIS agents, housing agents.
Okay.
So, it happens to people, some people very close to me, but their voice cannot be heard over there. And these people are very adamant. I know of an incident where a landlord asked an agent that this house I want to rent it maybe 600,000. The agent called and said this is 1.3, 1.4 confirmed. Now I want to know because these agents they have body under the government in the state. So what is the state government doing for these people to be able to take part in this activities of the government? How do they do this to make sure they control the price?
That's right. Okay. Yes, thank you very much. On the issue of buses and intra-city transportation, we have to look at the genesis of it. What do we know about fuel, the increase in fuel pump price from I think it's 1,000 what now, 1,300. So the challenge actually about high cost of transportation is not vehicular availability. It is about fueling. When you talk to an average transporter now, he will tell you to run his transport trade, you will need so amount of fuel. So they will now calculate if I carry so number of passengers, will I be able to meet up? So if government even put up buses, that means government will now have to also bear the cost of fueling. I think we have to look at the genesis of it, and the genesis is we know at the federal level is being handled. We have problem in the fueling sector. We all know our refineries are not working. We rely on importing fuel. We stop subsidy. Now we are relying on another supplier, a single supplier. Now our license is given to refineries and to refiners, but none has come on stream. So the challenge we have, you have to look at it generally. So it's not actually the subnational government crisis. It's most of the time just like food inflation. Like I've been telling people, food inflation, even if you buy 1 million bag of rice and you put it into the market as a state government, I want to tell you by next month the thing will vanish, the inflation will remain. Because the actual source of it, we have to attack it. What is causing high cost of prices of goods and services is because the product end, the supply end is so high. So and people are in businesses. Now what can the government do I will take this message. We are suggesting we should have more buses, or we should also expand Imole buses so that they can help the people. That's intra-city transportation. Phonics. So we take it of that. We take it back to the but we need to get this after this genesis of it. It's about fueling crisis, and until we resolve the crisis of inflation, which is affecting almost every sector, no state government can resolve the problem. It's a the job of economic management, the federation, is that of the center, not that of the state. So most of the things you do at the state level can only be palliative, and palliative will not solve the problem. That's why when people say distribute rice and all those, even when you distribute it now, in the next 2-3 days we are back to square one. So we need to resolve the issue of inflationary, hyperinflationary trend that is affecting almost all products and services in the country. But this message, we take it back to government. Now on the issue of tractors, I'm happy you have commended us, so thank you very much. We all know Osho has no tractor, has not purchased any single tractor in the last now will be 13 years before we did. You know, when we came aboard, there was no single tractor working. In fact, what we have on ground are some carcasses everywhere. So we took the initiative of buying in phases tractors. We brought in 31, I believe. We brought in 31. Then another 31 will come, so that gradually we push them to the local government. But by the time we brought the tractor, the planting season was almost coming to an end. And again, issue of planning, you have to be strategic when you are running a governance. So when will this tractor be actually needed? So it has to be during planting season, which will not be early next year now. So what we have done now is, what is the management structure for those tractors? How will it not just go and people will know part? And so we are putting up a PPP arrangement at each local government level. Now, how much are they hiring is tractor now? Somebody, what's the amount they mentioned? Phonics, what's the amount they mentioned for us there? I think it's 25,000. You know, there are tractor hiring association there, so it's 25,000. Government can now say, okay, for our own tractor, we bring either 10,000 or 40,000. Then we give it to farmers. That's per acre. So it's planned our own way so that there will be sustainability. So that is ongoing. Then let me also remind you of something in that program. Toward the tail end of the program, you see what we call goods. On day 12, Friday 13th, Mr. Governor will be flagging off statewide the Imole Agropreneur Model Project. We are going to secure land, 100, 150 and even more hectares of land in each local government. We now take young agripreneurs, we give them the input, we give them the enabling environment, and we also arrange the off-taking system for them. So they will farm when their harvest is coming, people that will buy it are already there. So we are thinking of almost 150 youth per local government, and they will go into farming of basic food items, maize and some other things. Part of it will also include processing, agro processing across the local government. So Mr. Governor is flagging it off on Atimesile on 13th of Imesile has almost 150 hectares of land already. They are marked for it, and that will go to Osogbo, Irabiji, and almost all the other places, Iwo and others. So to answer your question, 2025 is going to witness a very expansive development within the agri sector, because the tractor will be in the field. The second batch of the tractor will have arrived, then the agropreneur situation will be ongoing. You get the logic. I think I answered that. Then environmental day, we'll get back on that. We'll report to the Commissioner for Environment you want to know what is happening, then I will ask him to invite you people for an interview so I can explain what they've done about that. Then cabinet reshuffle, only Mr. Governor can say. It's not within my power to talk about. But if you check the program again, on the last day, that will be the last day. We are having cabinet accountability retreat. There will be performance review document and some other things. But what the governor is going to do, it's only the governor that will say it. But let me ask, if people are commending us that we have done well, you have done well, why are you now asking for cabinet reshuffle? That means the team is working. Or that's my thinking. If people say we have done well,
don't change the team.
So that means the team is working. Okay, I don't understand that. So what we can say is that Mr. Governor will take a decision to say, okay, I want this team to continue, I want this, but it's not for me to say.
Now, when we are moving towards
oh sorry, the house rent matter, an action by government to regulate activities of the agent and all that. So we report back to
that is the real question.
Yes.
I was part of the public hearing. It was passed 2 weeks ago.
Has it been sent to that is find out. We find out. Pass in the assembly, abi?
Yes.
So let me add it to find out whether they've sent it to the governor for. So overall, I think I've answered. Yeah, that's the last item.
Towards the end of the program, I will call on the former chairman and chairman to ask their question.
Yeah.
I want to go political. Let me ask my question. I want to go political. We responded to ABC National Chairman's comment on taking over Southwest for ABC. Now, things fall apart within the national leadership of PDP. And when things fall apart, Central is not hold again. Then within Osun, the PDP political affairs is also somehow. How will you describe, how are you preparing to sustain beyond 4 years? Can PDP sustain Adeloke's administration beyond 4 years?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Thank you very much.
And before you respond to the question, let the chairman to be
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay, my name is Olawale. I write for the Abidjan. Alright, we all know
Right for
the Abidjan.
okay, good morning.
Yeah, we all know that the governor has tried to tackle some of the particular developments. But why is it that some rural areas are not benefiting from this development? Like Imole road, there are some roads like that.
You know Chibu, Abi?
Like Imole road and others like that. Why is it that they are not benefiting from the development?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I just want you to speak on the level that you have learned from both the Edo State Uganda election and from both states governorship election.
Thank you very much. Now, okay,
Thank you, sir. That is amazement.
yeah.
It's about the infrastructure. And I want to talk about the monitoring.
Okay.
Some of the roads, yesterday I was driving towards it with a friend. And when we got to Obago, the road has been so bad. And I was telling him that I was not told. I was part of journalists to cover the asphalt lay of this road. Sometimes in
Obago, Abi?
the Obago road.
as a down to OOPA road.
Okay.
The asphalt day of that road is on February 1st, 2020.
February 1st.
Yes, 2020. You were not in government. I'm not February 1st, 2022. You were not in government. And that road now is
impossible.
Is impossible. But I needed to be very careful while going towards that road. And what am I really saying is that the road that was on, it's not that I was told, I have a report that backs it. A visual report because the journalists were moved around that day to see that asphalt lane. That road is somehow now, it's gone. So now what I want to say is that the quality of job then might be the issue. What is the mechanism you have in place to actually look at the quality of roads that are being constructed? I'm telling you now because this area, just like a few meters away from here, there is a road that was constructed very the entrance here. The entrance, this BCG road that was constructed. When the asphalt was being laid, I was there because I had a friend around that thing. And we were just told, this asphalt is not ready. And the contractor made a statement. It was not a, because it was just a normal house.
Yeah,
and he said, 10 months, he said, your partner. No, it's not that I can, the person that he was there is around here. He works here. No, he said, your partner. That road, if you look at the quality of the work done, is not what I think an exposed governor with the exposure like Adeleke will want to associate with. And that is going a road. Yesterday there was an issue in my community. They sent us pictures of the road. And then we call the chairman of my local government. Chairman, go and look at this road. The road that was constructed in the road. Go and look at the quality of the road. If the quality of road constructed by Ademola assist or stay there now, and we are saying because homes that were constructed by the municipal government are how? Then what are you going to say about yours? So what mechanism do you put in place to ensure quality job delivery? Especially at the local route, not the flyover. I know what all eyes are on that.
Thank you very much. Okay, I should continue. Yes, let me start from that last. If you remember, there was a time Governor Adeleke was talking about Nigerian factor, and he was saying maintenance culture is a major problem we have in this country. So the first question is the quality of construction and post-construction maintenance. Now, I know in our own system there is a two-layer of project management. So while the job is being done by a set, another set is in charge of monitoring to ensure quality. And I want to assure you that we've received some reports of some errors in some place, and luckily for us, while the reports are being filed, the right people are being notified and immediate corrective action are being taken. Some of the median area that were complained of, the contractor was called and they do it. So I will tell you that the monitoring committee will increase the tempo of their activities to ensure that standard of work are enforced, especially on local rules, so that we don't just get over focused on the big project. So we will take this message back to Felix. Take note of it. We take this message back to the government, and I want to assure you that issue of monitoring quality of work will now pay more attention to it. That can be, you can be sure of that. Then on the whole roads, another roads. When we came on board, the Shogbo road was just awarded. They pay some money to demand mobilization money. When we came on board, Governor Adeleke said, I'm not going to terminate the contract. So they should allow the man to do his job. When we are all indigent. So luckily, peculiar that is handling this is also from the road zone. So he has a personal interest to ensure that the job is completed. Now, he was mobilized and he has done the job to almost 30%. What the government has done now is that the job has been expanded. There will now be dualization that will enter Iwo from Iwo down to roundabout inside Iwo just like what you have at Ede. So we now have dualization. That's after the single lane from Osogbo closing at Udo. We now branch into dualized road up till the heart of the road, which is junction, roundabout. That will be phase 1. When we completed it to that stage, the second stage will now take the dualization from that roundabout to Adeke, which is the Ibadan road side. So job is ongoing. Job is ongoing. The road is not neglected. I spoke to the man. When was that? 3 days ago. Job is ongoing. We want to assure you that road will be completed under the life of this administration. Now, why are other roads in the rural area not benefiting? When we came on board, we told the world that infra deficit in Osun is over 80%. And what is infra deficit? When your infrastructures are down. We all know that all roads entering Osun were in bad state. The rural roads are down, everywhere. So we are just 2 years in the office. We now decided that we have an infra plan. The infra plan is to ensure that we touch on education, health, road, water, and all. So we started 1.5 kilometer per local government. We had another 1.5 kilometer, which are all ongoing. But my sis, the level of deficit is so high that we cannot cover it under 2 years. Our plan, like the governor said during the budget presentation, we have reduced the infra gap, the infra deficit by close to 30%. But from 80%, that means there are still many bad roads, many bridges yet to be done. But what you can be sure is that if we have achieved so much within 2 years, we now focus more in the next 2 years. I'm going to give us the second mandate to run another 4 years. You can be sure most of this infra crisis will be resolved by this administration. We did it. So no area is neglected. We are very fair. Now, PDP, party, political matters. At the national level, what we need to know is that PDP is Apamaku. That's the oldest powerful structure that you have. All those crises that we are having is about 2027 presidential ticket of PDP. The PDP remains solidly grounded all over the country. Anywhere we go, you can know that PDP is on ground. So issue of PDP at national level, having crisis, and maybe it will affect us, there's nothing like that. Then issue of Dr. Gambuje threatening us and all those, our fear is that his conduct is undermining the consensus already built around President Tinubu in Yoruba land. Everybody say Tinubu is our man, irrespective of political affiliation. So the man want to put fire into the house of Mr. President by talking of hijacking, rigging. In fact, we thought if he's a friend of the president, he should be looking for peace in the own state and the own zone of Mr. President, not to now come out and say I want to create crisis. What do we mean by crisis? If virtually all you come and said, that's the general thinking. Now, if somebody who cannot win election in his own state now say I will create crisis in your, that's not helping Mr. President. That's why we have to say, don't come and create crisis where there is no crisis. In Osun, Governor Ademola Adeleke has no problem with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, let me tell you, how come all Osun National Assembly members, senators, voted unanimously for all nominees of Mr. President from Osun? Unanimously. Even before anybody will call the governor saying go and support whoever President Tinubu is. You notice that Osun has become a mini federal hall for Southwest. Why do you see all federal agencies hosting their event here? Why do you see all these federal officials coming to Osun? It's because they know party crisis, party differences is not there. We are present people. President is it's from Osun. It's our song. So how can you fight your son? So for Kano man to now come and say, I will create crisis in your house. That means if I'm Mr. President, I will query him. I say it's like you don't like me. Let me tell you something. 2027. If you want to win Osun, what should be the best strategy? We all know it. To get Osun 99.9%, who can do it? It's the popular man. The one that has turned Osun into an Eldorado, to a small London within 2 years. That's Governor Adeleke. So if anybody now come and say, I will fight Adeleke, that means the person actually want to create crisis for this. That's why we issue that. Now, what is our lesson? What lesson have we learned? You see, I also put it back to you. I was once a political editor. I reported politics for more than 25 years as a journalist. So elections are not won by the shout in Lagos or Abuja. The election is won at local level. In Edo, how come PDP won or failed? There are local factors. We all know those local factors. Not for me to say it. Those local factors, there is nothing you can do. It will affect the outcome of the election. Now, in Ondo, there are local factors. There is nothing anybody can do. It's not about whether I have federal might. No, it's about what are the indices. Before the election, there are political intelligence on what is likely to happen in Ondo. PDP try its best, but local questions, local factors dictated who won. In Osun, there are local factors. Nobody can deny that there are local factors. Let me mention somebody here. I will not mention his name. You look at Mr. Governor recently. He say, Ọlọ́ọ̀bá wa ṣé o, yóò ṣe ó ti ṣe lọ́dún méjì, yóò ṣe lọ́dún mẹ́ta, yóò ṣe lọ́dún mẹ́rin, yóò ṣe lọ́dún márùn-ún, yóò ṣe. Practical endorsement. If I mention the name, he said it publicly in Abuja. Just yesterday at the mosque in Osogbo here, Central Mosque. Ọlọ́run ti ṣàánú wa ó ti ṣe lọ́dún méjì, lọ́sọdún mẹ́rin, lọ́sọdún márùn-ún. Why are people? If I'm from Osogbo, in fact that's why I'm surprised. Those people in the APC, Barrister Bashir, in fact this is the time for all of them to decamp and join Governor Ademola. This one has changed your town. Osogbo has become something else. Just drive around Osogbo. If I'm from Osogbo, the man in the NPA, what is his name, Big Badmus, and all of them, this is the time for them to support Governor Ademola for second term, because he has changed the fortune of Osogbo, which when they were right in power they could not do it. Just go around Osogbo now. In the next 4 years, by the time Mr. Governor will be finishing the first tenure, you come to Osogbo, you will not. There's somebody on the TVC. Don't let me mention his name. His children happen to be schooling at what's that? Regima. They were in part 3, but part 1 he brought them. You see, as parents. But since then it has been the mom and sending money. So the man came last week. Otitoju and what is his name? Babajide. He came and dropped and they turned at Akoda. They said the man parked. I said wait guys, what is happening? We have not reached the turning. They said no. The man drove inside small. You know that new hotel? You know it's very close to the gate of. Look at the same wait. This is not the rule say I don't like this is the rule. He said so Ademola did this again. He said that he's used the word again. He now told our friends that were there that you guys, I want to meet Ademola. You must tell me the secret of good governance. He has demanded for an interview. That is overwhelmed. They could not believe, but he now broke down. He was looking at Ede. Ede becomes something like, this is not Ede again. This is not Timiagbale town again. This is Super City within 2 years. These are testimony from people on the other side. So you can't hide sorrow. You can't hide moon. You can hide style. The But Ademola Adeleke is Imole, he has shown all over. Local factors in Osun will determine who win 2026, and the indices on the local factors more than 90% favor Governor Ademola Adeleke. And let me be specific about it. We have 9 zones, 9 federal constituencies in Osun. Just look at it, right? In the world, you know what is happening in the world. You know that used to be the base. People are moving. There was a report that some people were disputing about APC losing 45% of its members in Osun. People thought that is a joke. In fact, by the time we took the sense on our own level, we now discovered there's a virtually non-local government that we have not had massive decamping. And when they want to come, they will tell us we are decamping because of Governor Ademola Adeleke. So if we are having that, you can be sure that locally speaking, Ife people, let me tell you what the testimony we have from Ife. People say, why are we doing flyover bridge at Ife? One high-ranking, very big, moneyed, well-loaded Ife son said something. He said, apart from mention anything that is of what that has happened to Ife. He said this flyover bridge happening at that spot is key to boosting the local economy, because that spot happened to be the economic hub for Osun East. Baba Oni told us, he said people from Dara Jolode to Ondo, that's their point. People from Bodo Ikire to Ibadan, that's their point. People from Ilesha. Now you are putting a flyover. What are you trying to do? You want to change the economic quality of that environment. That is Ife. They were there, nothing happened at Ife now. And we are taking the dualization to where? To that, to that palace line. That is unique. That's under 2 years. So all local indices favor Mr. Governor, and of God Almighty is with us because we are Imole.
Thank you so much. Well, let us appreciate so better to feature on the 6th edition of online public applications. Your final remarks, what's your message to the general public?
Sorry. So as we are marking the second year anniversary.
Before you do that, then we would like to look at the budget 2024.
Okay.
There are some things that were there that have not been implemented.
Okay.
And then maybe because of controversy, let me use the one that came to my mind is that of the second phase of the ball. That's okay. And then we are in November, and November is almost gone. So I think we see what exactly is going on there. You see that because of the too massive outcry and they put it in that way, government has actually shown that
good. Thank God that please I want to plead with you that if you can, this particular story that this issue, you see, sit down. I get it. I want to answer it. You see, when we came on board November 2022, we did what we call infra survey of Osun. In the water sector, Osun was suffering from acute water shortage. When I say acute water shortage, I use my own area at Iwo. My family house is right inside town. I know for sure that more than 3 wards, there is no single source of water, no borehole, nothing. What we used to do in our area is that there is a river, and then when you are going to a well, that's where our people used to carry cake. All those that are rich, they will carry these people that sell water come and put. So as of 2022, also was suffering from massive water crisis. Water supply crisis. The water works were not working. My house at Iwo that has pipe link to the water works has since stopped for long. Osogbo, everywhere. So when governor came on board, the question now is, how do we solve the water crisis? So you are supposed to have immediate action. You have medium term action, which we call short term, and you have the long term action. We know to now revive the water works will be so difficult because of resources. So we now say, okay, what can we do immediately that our people can have access to drinking water? Everybody now say, wait, our first option, let's get borehole, one political ward. We have 32 wards. We now say, okay, if we get it, that means at least people will have water to drink immediately. You know, water accessibility also has to do with health matters. You get it? So preventive health care policy is the best for any governor, and that's Governor Adeleke's role. Governor said if they have good access to water, the possibility of people contracting diseases will be reduced. So we now say, okay, we have 32 boreholes. We look at the market cost of borehole. Jerry, you are hearing?
Yes, sir.
We look at the market cost of borehole. It's almost 7 million, 8 million, 12, 10 million. I mean, then we now say no. Can't we do direct labor borehole since we just want to solve an immediate problem? We say we can only afford 1.5 million. Then if you add the money for what do you call it, for generator, like 2 million. That within 100 days we want all wards to have access to water supply, and we did, and we achieved it. In my own ward, post office area at Iwo, when you get there now, the only source of water for 2 wards as I'm talking to you now is that borehole. So when governor achieved that, we now say, okay, what is the short term action? We now say, okay, we have to check all the water works, we have to revive them. When we check the water work, we discover that the pipes were laid in the 70s and 60s. They were rusty. They can't carry water again. So we pick Ede, Oshogbo, Otobe, go and start the relaying of pipes. Then we have small water works that were built incidentally by a PDP governor. Around 10. They were abandoned. Mini water scheme, they were abandoned. Governor said, okay, let's set a program to revive those mini water schemes. But as of today, we are relaying pipes. We are the process of upgrading those water works, mini water house ongoing. We now say, okay, while those are ongoing, let's do the second phase of the whole thing. But of course, you say no, we've been involved in so many projects, massive and all this, and that's why the one you mentioned, it will still come. You know, budget life is March. Yes, budget life March or February, we can roll into the new year. So please, on the issue of borehole, we want our people to know that if the government has a 3-phase plan, you start with one. And the one we did, it worked. But the opposition said, borehole are not working. But people are looking at fanciful projects. Let me tell you something. That our borehole at you, we did this small artwork. We put 8 tap. That's what is serving 2 wards. If you put another one now, it will serve the second part of the ward. Then people will have water supply, and that will help in terms of preventive health care. So we are not abandoning Gary, we are not abandoning that. You know, it can still roll into the new year. But I want to get it in proper perspective. The issue of water supply in Osun. And you know what we are doing about initial water works. You know the crisis we met on ground. People have turned into money cow. That's why people just take on, and it's a loan to be repaid back. So we have to start all over again. These are some of the things, my people.
We want to your message to the general public.
Yeah.
Into the second anniversary, your message to the people.
Yes. Thank you very much. We all listen to. Yes, we all listen to the chairman of the anniversary committee yesterday. You have the program, very extensive. It covers everything you have to do under those 16 days. We invited you directly to cover. We're having football match today. We should do something. We invite you to come tomorrow. No, tomorrow we're having church service at Ede. We invite you. Monday we have 2 programs. The first one is we are giving bond again, almost 2.7 billion. Can you imagine that? 2.7 billion to pensioners, people that were dying off, that people abandoned. So, and aside from that, the workers are giving Mr. Governor award again because they've never seen this type. You know, how can you see a man that don't, if you are a governor today, you know how tempting it is. You are in charge of billions of naira, and somebody say no, I will not serve my pocket. I must serve the people. So the workers said they are giving award. We are having state award too by 3 o'clock. Also tomorrow we are invited, and we prepare everything to make sure the coverage is good for us. On your side, all the polar, we have worked on them. So we want to thank you to the public. Governor Ademola Adeleke, you know, he said something. Only Musimbo, only Musimbo. You know, if somebody has done so much and he still say he has not arrived, that's to show that we also people should respect more goodies, more roads, more water schemes, more good centers, more workers' welfare, more people's welfare, and more journalists' welfare. Thank you very much. I thank you for hosting me. Like I said, police will remind me, we have to help them on the furnish fee. That's one. We have to help them. So, and the location is good.